it's the worst prep any fighter could ever have.
Like,
they do not need to be surrounded by people in any sort of environment. I think he beats Moses Itauma now. I think maybe in 12 to 24 months he doesn't beat Itauma, and maybe then that is like the passing of the... Jake Paul, like, sometimes I'm there to defend him, sometimes I'm not. But he does make a mockery of boxing where...
Right, welcome back. It's your boy Owen with Fight Lens and Sporting Talk. We're at the brand new Crowns Gym in Beckenham. Just opened, freshly opened, and George Groves is our guest of honour for opening day. George, how's it been?
Yeah, great. I mean, I've done not the full tour, I had a bit of a tour of the gym, but it looks great. You know, I love a new gym, me. Do you know what I mean? I know most people like the old spit and sawdust now. I like the fresh paint look.
Like the mixture. Some days new, some days old. You can still smell the paint. That's how fresh it is here.
Exactly that,
but they've got all the state-of-the-art technology and it's looking amazing. So, yeah. Let's talk boxing though. What a weekend for boxing. Oleksandr Usyk, another spectacular performance. Daniel Dubois gave it his best, but not good enough. The talk since the fight has been about the so-called party that Daniel Dubois' father threw with Don Charles on the day of the fight. What's your take on that? It seems a bit of a weird one, but apparently they did the same thing for the AJ fight, so...
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. I mean, it's the worst prep any fighter could ever have. Like, they do not need to be surrounded by people in any sort of environment pre-fight. Like, before, even fight week was a bad idea, but on the day of the fight, it is bizarre.
Yeah.
Most fighters were left scratching their head. Like, it's exhausting talking to people, right? And ultimately, as a fighter, right, you need to concentrate on the fight without wasting the energy of letting yourself getting carried away with excitement or nerves
people
of the big
shoving
night.
phones in his face, doing selfie videos.
People are always going to be talking to you about the fight. Now, how are you going to beat Usyk? We can do this, we can do that. As well as there's that element of, if it does have a bit of a party feel, like as in people are enjoying themselves, you're the one who's got to go and get punched in the face later on that night.
That's true.
So why am I enjoying myself? Why are you not enjoying yourself so much?
Yeah.
The people around me would be nervous, you know. They would be nervous for the bout that's coming that evening, but also just nervous to be around me because, like, ultimately,
mindset.
I am going into battle,
yeah.
I mean, and it is like, it feels like life or death, right? So I don't get that at all. I mean, Daniel's very different from me and many other fighters. I'm sure he likes to be led. He likes to just be told what to do, and I'm sure his dad is a dominating figure within his life. But if you need to surround yourselves with people for comfort, to me that is only weakness. If I saw that in someone who I was boxing, I see that as weakness.
Yeah. It's hard to put a positive spin on that, isn't it? It's like, you're your own man. He's 28 years old. By this point in time, you'd think he would have a bit more about him.
Yeah, a bit more autonomy on his own career.
Yeah. Do you think he's been exploited by his dad to an extent, or do you think his dad's just always been that dominant figure and that's how he knows it?
I don't know about exploited. I mean, you'd have to, you have to get into. There's rumours, isn't there? There's stuff about that you hear about. I don't know if that's true or not.
He controls the money and this and that. So
yeah, I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Lots of fighters or people like to be, as I say, controlled. Or like to be led by their parents, and lots of times it makes for a successul career.
That's it, because they can focus on the boxing and let other people handle the finances and things like that. It makes sense.
Or even just handle the build-up. How often, Enzo Calzaghe was a lot more vocal at the time. It felt like than Joe Calzaghe. Like, I'm not saying he was fighting his battles verbally, but he would take a lot of the heat off of him.
Yeah.
And
deflecting.
There's been loads of examples of that. Whether it be Danny Garcia's dad always springs to mind. There's plenty of fighters throughout history where the parent or someone equivalent to the parent has, alleviated them at times of the burden, which is the sort of the build up, trash talk, because it takes energy, and for some people, they don't want to do it.
It always felt with you like you were kind of a one-man army almost, not as such, but you had a smaller team around you. Like, you weren't like Chris Eubank Jr. with the overriding figure of his dad, and now the Dubois team's like 30 people turning up. How did you find that? That was how it worked more naturally for you?
Yeah, I think so. Like, we never got together and had a strategy about essentially what was going to be said. But I didn't want anyone to speak for me. As again, I thought that was a weakness. You know, like someone to almost fight your verbal battle.
Even you and Froch with Eddie Hearn there in the, was it Soccer or whatever that was?
Yeah, it was Eddie, and there was Lee Froch, the brother. He was typing in, and you know, fortunately for I think
that was the famous one. You're gonna cry, Carl.
Carl started crying on ringside. So
classic.
That's just how it goes. But I think everyone is sort of different. But that's a step too far. That's step too far. And if he did show up an hour after Usyk and it was 90 minutes before the fight, that is not enough time.
No,
it's not enough time because you've got to it takes 15 minutes to walk through Wembley.
It's huge, isn't it? Yeah.
You've got, even if someone's leading you to your change room, you get in the change room and you just want time. You just want time to whatever your routine may be, and ultimately. There's divas within sport, right? But when you get in the changing room, I used to bring my own speaker and I used to go and plug my speaker in and I'd sync my phone up with the thing and I'd play my music, right? Yeah. If you're not doing that, then what's going on in your life? Like, what? This is your moment. Why are you not putting your playlist on? Or if you need someone else to put your playlist on for you, how pathetic are you?
Yeah.
Right?
I wonder if you'll look back on this in maybe 10 years' time and be like, I should have spoken up a bit more for myself, but we'll never know.
I don't know. He might not have got this far without his dad.
That's true.
So
that's a fair point.
We can't throw his dad or anyone else under the bus. I think he's had a fantastic run of performances with Don Charles, but ultimately you're looking after the heavyweight champion of the world. What they say goes, and if someone is controlling what they say, it doesn't matter. It's still what they say goes.
True.
It's very difficult to come in and say this is not a good idea. Do it this way.
Usyk says he doesn't have motivation. He has discipline. That's how he lives his life. British fighters, do you think some of them lack that discipline? Seen Prince Nazim Hamed, Tyson Fury, Ricky Hatton. Is that a problem with British fighters in general, or is that just a generalisation?
I wouldn't say it was British fighters in general. Like fighters from Britain, sure.
Can be Americans as well, I suppose.
Yeah, exactly.
The Ukrainians seem to have a kind of different mindset almost, don't they?
Yeah, well, I think you think the Klitschko's had great, a great discipline, and Usyk certainly the same.
Huge,
but there was a rule of thought for a bit where you didn't have to live and breathe boxing from a very early age. You could start boxing like Andy Joshua did at the late teens and have very quick success and make it, right? But ultimately, if you're gonna be the best, it's time invested, and that is the discipline. And that if you've been training, dreaming of becoming a professional world champion from the age of 10 or younger, right? With that your sole goal, and making sure that you stay disciplined throughout adolescence, right the way through, is ultimately your career can only go as long as you're willing to put the work in, and
maintain
the work
is
discipline. You have to have the discipline to do that.
Between fights, there seems to be the hard time.
Obviously.
The training camp was one thing. It's everyone puts in the hard yards during the camp, but then after the fight's finished, do you?
So it's hard. It is hard to put the physical graft in, the mental graft, and sometimes the emotional, discipline, if you will, throughout camp. And then you do need an off switch. You need someone around you to say, okay, right, you're gonna relax a bit, but it's how do you measure the relaxing? If you go on like a 3-week bender, do you really need that, or can you have a couple of nights out with the lads,
go fishing and then chill out or something?
Go fishing with Jess, a few beers the night before.
That's it.
And then you're back in the gym ticking over. You're not back in the gym grafting for the next fight. You're back in the gym ticking over. That's ultimately the fighters that they blow up in weight, and then they're training to get the weight off, or just to get the joints back to working, get the muscles woken up. Then discipline plays a key factor. But Usyk, it's discipline.
It's just ingrained in him, seemingly.
Yeah,
birth,
it must
isn't
be.
Yeah.
It must be.
And who deserves the next shot at him? Because people have talked about Joseph Parker or Caballel even, or Moses Itauma. But now he's just cleared out the division, hasn't he? He's beaten AJ twice, Fury twice, Dubois twice. So where do we go? Where does the heavyweight division go from here?
Yeah, I think he'll two things. I think he beats Parker. I think he beats Caballel. I think he beats Moses Itauma now. I think maybe in 12 to 24 months he doesn't beat Itauma, and maybe then that is like the passing of the.
Yeah.
We never had that with like Lennox Lewis retired at the top. He beat Klitschko and he was like, "That's me done."
Yeah.
Then Vladimir sort of took over, and yeah, he got toppled by Fury. So there has to be like a passing over, and then Fury tested positive for banned substances. He went off the rails, you know. So then there was a little vacuum, and then obviously Joshua came in and Wilder came in, and they had their run. But
feels like the start of a new
new
era almost now, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's almost that new era's almost over. It's the Usyk era.
It's the Usyk era now, yeah. And
because he's beaten these guys. He's gone back to the drawing board to beat him again. Do I want to see Usyk Fury 3? No, no. I couldn't. What is there's no point in that fight, really.
Exactly, yeah.
You can't have where they're playing for best of 5 at this point.
Yeah, I mean there wasn't enough controversy to make it worthwhile, really, was it?
No, he soundly beat Fury.
Yeah.
Almost knocked him out the first time, didn't he? And he soundly beat Joshua. You know, the only fight really Fury's retired, but now he's back running. He's inspired by Usyk. It might be coming out of retirement, who knows? And he should just fight Joshua. I think one and done. I don't think we need this rematch.
No,
best of 3.
We'll
just one
happy.
and done. Just go in there and have a fight.
Yeah.
Maybe do it over like 5 rounds. Just make it super exciting.
Rapid fire boxing.
Okay, lads, go! Just whoom, give it a go. But I thought Usyk had completed boxing and he'll be done. But he still was as good as ever, still as fresh as ever. He showed up, performed. Exactly.
Is he your pound for pound top fighter right now in the world? Is there anyone above him for you? We got Tony Bellews top 5 on Monday, so I'm interested to get
I thought you were going to say Tony Bellews in the top 5.
Bellews top 5 retired.
A bit of a stretch,
he's done his ACL, hasn't he? So
has he?
Yeah. He's not even playing golf now.
He'll be back soon.
Get back soon, yeah, Tony.
Yeah.
But yeah, who's your top 5?
Yeah, top 5. Top 5's hard because Inouye's got to be somewhere. Crawford's got to be somewhere. Usyk's got to be somewhere. Bam Rodriguez had a great win weekend.
He was there.
But like,
is Canelo still there for you?
Canelo's still there.
Yeah.
Canelo's still there on his day. He's still up there
when he wants it enough.
Yeah. And so you have to judge them on who they're beating.
Yeah.
You know.
Any room for Bivol or Beterbiev? Squeeze in there?
Bivol, yeah. But you know, I can't. Yeah. Yeah. Usyk. I would want to put Usyk at number 1. I don't know whether he could go at number 1. It would be maybe Inoue, Crawford, and Usyk for the top 3 for me.
3, yeah.
Bivol, how can you? I don't know. That's a tough question.
Yeah, it's tough, isn't it?
It's because it's like, who are they boxing? So it's
who's in their division. That's it. The quality of their opponents. Yeah.
Exactly that. Like Crawford just to be so dominant, like in the welterweight division. If he beats Canelo, then you put him on 1. But if he gets beat, does he drop out of top 5? That's not fair, is it?
No, it's harsh. Yeah. So fair point. It's subjective, isn't it? Claressa Shields or Katie Taylor, greatest women of all time in boxing. Who's got it for you?
I don't know. I'll just say Katie Taylor because she was a pioneer of female boxing.
Yeah. This
side of the pond. And you know, it felt like she was the first one that real boxing fans were following her. Not because it was niche, because for her boxing ability as a female fighter.
Yeah.
I think she was the one who really moved the needle for women's boxing.
Yeah, broke the boundaries. Right, so Jake Paul, he's called out Anthony Joshua. John Fury's had his say that he reckons AJ could knock him out with his manhood. What's your take on it? Will the fight happen? And if it does,
that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? Yeah. Is his manhood wearing gloves? Is it 10 ounce? Is it like, I don't know. It's like, you hope it's something is wrapped somehow. But Jake Paul, like, sometimes I'm there to defend him, sometimes I'm not. But he does make a mockery of boxing where I think there's not a fighter he hasn't called out. So it's not like he's got on the scales and gone, I'm a cruiserweight, I'm calling out all the cruiserweights. It's like he wants to fight a welterweight, then a heavyweight, then there's a featherweight. And ultimately what he wants to do is not have a real fight. But I think he genuinely believes he's a boxer. That's why against Chavez last time, he's picked I'm sure, I don't know if Chavez was still boxing, but, a boxing name, because of his father, but a boxing name from 10 plus years ago to fight, when he could just fight an influencer, or he could just fight someone else, He's not fighting any current boxers.
He's trying to give himself that legitimacy, isn't he, in his own head, I think.
But people just let him, I think he was in the ring for a face-off, wasn't he, with Usyk?
Mental.
How's he got that?
I don't know.
How's he got that?
Money
I want to meet Usyk. I've got one picture with him, but I want to be able to stand there with him and have, just a little conversation.
Yeah.
I'll big him up.
And Jake Paul's managed to do it.
Fucking Jake Paul's there. What's he bring to the table?
No, I know. What world titles he ever won?
He ain't won no title.
Exactly, yeah.
He can fuck.
But somehow he's there. Yeah, it's a weird one. But I mean, a lot of people would actually want to see the fight happen because Anthony Joshua would obliterate him, surely.
But does Joshua need to? I think that would just keep hurting Joshua's sort of legacy, if you will. If he starts now having joke fights, because that's ultimately, it'd be recency bias. People would just be remembering, oh yeah, he boxed in Ghana, didn't he? A UFC fighter, knocked him out around. Oh yeah, he boxed a YouTuber, knocked him out around. Did he box Tyson Fury? No, he never boxed Tyson Fury. Just fight Fury, like both guys. And I don't think I'm not privy to the business side of their dealings. From what's put out in the media, it seems like Fury's not interested in Joshua. Joshua was chasing Fury for a bit. But now it's kind of gone quiet. I'm sure Eddie Hearn will be saying, right, what we do is you can fight on forever.
Eddie Hearn doesn't care when it happens.
We'll just keep fighting forever, and then just fight that Jake Paul. You get a rematch. We'll watch him fight again. Fight Fury 2028.
Keep the money coming in year after year. I suppose that's the plan, isn't it? They don't care.
Them guys ain't building for the future, are they?
They want it now.
But it's now, isn't it?
Let's have a hypothetical match. They say comparison is the thief of joy, but Muhammad Ali at his finest, I think he boxed at the same weight as Oleksandr Usyk, same reach, same birthday even. It's kind of a bit spooky there. But if they had shared a ring at both their peaks, how would you see that fight going?
Yeah, I mean,
fastest hands in boxing history, Muhammad Ali, you reckon?
He was fast, very fast for a heavyweight, but obviously a small heavyweight. So, and even smaller when he was, when he first won the belt.
Cassius Clay.
So Ali was light years ahead of his time in terms of not just his boxing ability, but his ability to control everything outside of the ring, mind games and the press and everything else. And I'd love to have seen what he would have been like in this era, where we think we do a lot of media now because there's so many media outlets. But the truth of the matter is, like, if you talk to some of the old journos, some of them no longer with us, they would go to Ali's hotel, they'd ask concierge like what rooms he's in, and they'd go and knock on his door and ask for an interview.
Really? Yeah, just like that.
And you got Colin Hart telling that story. The fighters were accessible.
I'm guessing Ali didn't turn them down either. He probably said, come in, have a cup of tea.
Yeah, that's what I mean, come in.
Yeah.
And he'll give him 45 minutes of sort of and poetry and just natural charisma. Yeah. I think he would have found a way to have beaten Usyk, but no one else has. So he's definitely Usyk's greatest heavyweight of this era by a country mile.
Yeah. Fair. It would have been a great fight, but yeah, it's a shame we'll never get to see it. Maybe they'll do a kind of hologram fight where they can have Usyk versus Muhammad Ali hologram. Who knows? Technology's there. Filip, Hrgovic and David Adeleye, quick prediction on that one. I think that's coming up soon is that on the undercard of Dillian Whyte and Moses Itauma? I can't remember which one's top of the card.
Yeah.
I think it is on the undercard, isn't it?
I see what Hrgovic is like after getting beat by Daniel Dubois.
Yeah, he hasn't fought. Has he fought since?
Has he not?
I don't think so,
it doesn't feel like he's cropped up.
That's a while ago.
Adelaide, he got beat by Wardley, didn't he? So, but on a bit of a resurgence, I think this is a step up from like Solomon Dakers and where he's at right now. Yeah, I think Hrgovic beats him, but maybe not. You know, maybe the new Adeleye feeling good, punches hard, great left hook, maybe beats him, but it'd be a tough one, that one.
Decent fight, yeah. Moses Itauma now is a step up for him, really, isn't it? This is, you know, I suppose you can say Dillian Whyte's a gatekeeper now at this point in his career.
Yeah. I think it's a great match for Moses Itauma. Like, he's been very well looked after. Francis Warren has done a brilliant job with him. You know, Moses came on my podcast right early doors. He only had a handful of fights, and Francis as well came on, and they spoke about, you know, the route to maybe becoming the youngest heavyweight champion.
Yeah, they spoke about it, didn't they?
He
says it's kind of like a weight off his shoulders now that he can't do that anymore. Like
I think so because you know, there would have been a time when, you know, maybe when the belt vacated, they could have got him in before Daniel Dubois, or maybe he would have boxed Dubois. I'm not sure if the time frame fit it, and maybe he could have beat Daniel Dubois, but then you are in the mix, and he didn't need to be then thrown in with Usyk. So, but I think this is a great match for him. Dillian Whyte, you know, I can't remember the last time I seen him box. You know, I remember after he failed the last drugs test before the Joshua fight. Yeah, I think he's only ever has he boxed in Portugal or something since, or Dublin or something like that. He's a name, and if he's got a bit about him still, it's going to be a challenge. But it wouldn't surprise me if Itauma blasts him out in 2-3 rounds. More of the same. So yeah, I think it's really good matchmaking.
For the future of British boxing, we kind of want Moses to go in there and obliterate him, don't we?
Yeah. I think he's light his head, and I ain't seen anyone else coming through really. So it would be great if there was half a dozen fighters as good as Moses Itauma or close to it, where you're like, oh, these guys are going to meet real soon. Like they're coming through. But
not the case right now.
Not yet. There's some exciting amateurs who have just turned over, maybe in the heavyweight division. Okay. I can't remember his name now. Thang, is it? He's just signed with Matchroom.
Oh yeah, we spoke about him once, didn't we?
He's looking good, and there's a couple of others.
He was like a rugby league player, wasn't he? Before he turned to boxing.
So we want to find, and maybe in the States, maybe America will make it.
Yeah, they need to step up, don't they?
Produce some half decent American heavyweights, because poor Deontay, he's coming unstick now.
He is, now he's back out of retirement, so they really need someone else to kind of back it up at this point in time, don't they? But we'll be back in August to talk over these fights, but stay tuned for now. Remember, like, subscribe, and